Hello everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day. Today is a new day of FileMaker training. So welcome to fmtrain.tv, where we broadcast every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, I think, this week of doing this every day. We did take a week off at Christmas. I do apologize. But notwithstanding the week off, and then 1 or 2 days off for Thanksgiving, we broadcast every day. So very exciting. We have lots of great content, lots of great topics that are going on. We are broadcasting in high definition on YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. So if you see me here looking at the screen here with our guest and talking about FileMaker, then if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the comments of all the people that are joining us. We have about roughly 100 unique people every day that join us. And then over the course of the next week or so, we have at least 500 people that dig through the content, because it's not always a great time for people to watch the broadcast. Obviously, we have our moderators here. We greatly appreciate that. TK55678, who's actually in Germany, which is funny. That's where our speaker is today. Very exciting day today. It should be interesting. Very, very interesting topic. So before we dive into that topic, let me do the perfunctory housekeeping that always seems to go on. So first off, the live broadcast upcoming schedule. If you want to know what we're doing in the future here, you can go to fmtraining.tv. You press the live tab. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. This schedule is also posted to Claris, so they have it on their website. This is powered by FileMaker. We eat our own dog food here, so what you're seeing right here is data that's coming out of FileMaker live in real time onto a website. Pretty cool. And so we have Christian Schmitz today, and then tomorrow we have an open Q&A day, but we're going to have Martin from 360 Works talking about Deploy 2. So some of the broadcasts, we talk about how to build things in FileMaker. Like yesterday, we were talking about cascading adds, cascading deletes, understanding those on the relationship graph, and then, of course, obliquely talking about Anchor Buoy. Today is more about a third-party plugin that really kicks butt. It's really, really good stuff. And so then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we have custom menus with Nick Hunter. Nick Hunter is a formal Apple design engineer, worked at Claris as well, and he is one of the foremost authorities, without a doubt, on FileMaker design. And he demonstrates that every week here, broadcasting 2 or 3 days. And then Thursday and Friday of next week, it's pretty cool. We're going to start bringing Jacob Taylor and more to answer questions about servers. So when you have a server question or a cloud question, he's going to be there, the person to answer those questions. As a reminder, if you want to support the channel, we do recommend, since this is mostly all free here for everyone, so recommend that you check out our paid training courses. So understand that this is live streaming. We do this an hour every day. And so it's an interactive kind of conversation, but it's a little bit more of a free-flowing conversation. There's joking, there's fun, there's all sorts of goodness and a lot of the things that happen here, the course of the conversation changes based upon you, the person watching, asking us questions. You can direct the conversation in a certain way. We have 90 hours of on-demand training. We have by far the most comprehensive training for the FileMaker platform. No one else is even close. No one. And as a result of that, we have 3 full-time video editors. That's all they do is edit videos full-time. We have 2 or 3 broadcast engineers that work on this full-time, part-time. And so it's quite the crew that puts all this stuff together. So if you want to purchase one of our training bundles, this is an annual subscription. It gets you all our training for the year. We have bundles that come with all sorts of stuff, including a copy of FileMaker and a special CRM. If you want that bundle, that's all part of that material, or you can just get the video only right there. Lastly, today's broadcast, the topics. What are we covering today? We have, we have high-end conversations, low-end conversations. And so what I want to do here is say here that today's conversation is really for beginning, intermediate, and advanced developers. Sometimes a conversation is just for one group or a different group. And we have all sorts of people here. I have people here literally with all sorts of skill sets. And so we got Tawa there, welcome. We got Wally from the Netherlands, Arturo from Colombia, Dennis from Southern California, Rex from wherever Rex is from, Ace Estimate from Miami, Michael Gravel is Montreal, David from Chicago, welcome David. Without further I have to speak English. Further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. Go ahead and share your screen and unmute yourself, Mr. Christian. I want to introduce everyone to Christian Schmitz, who is the owner, CEO of Monkeybread software. And so he was there, then he left, then he's going to come back. Okay, well, why don't you show your face for a second, Christian? We want to see your smiley face.
Hey.
There he is. Yep, there you go. So this is Christian. He is awesome. Very cool. And so he has been, he makes a plugin. So let me give you a little bit of backstory on people that come to the broadcast. If you see someone here in the broadcast, it's because my company, we got 30 some odd engineers at RCC. We use the product. We believe in the product. It helps us out. We don't show off vendors with products that we don't use, or I can't vouch for the awesomeness of the company. So FileMaker is a great platform. It's fantastic. That's why we're here. And then we talk about vendors who extend FileMaker, make it better than it already is. This guy won the FileMaker Product of the Year award, what, 2018, Christian? Is that what that was? Yeah, show us that trophy. That was a pretty good little glass thing. Thank you. Yeah, he did a great job. And so why don't you walk us through what is your product and why should we care about it?
Okay. So the MBS plugin is, well, an extension for FileMaker, and it adds a lot of functions. It's a big toolbox, and on our website, you can read a little bit about what it does. And you may find useful features like our goodies for the FileMaker developers to extend FileMaker itself. And you might find thousands of functions.
Yeah, so let's talk about that briefly. So this thing, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of shrink that just briefly here. So this product has like how many functions? Like 6,000 different things you can do with it, basically.
6,500 currently.
Yep. Okay. So the short, and so we're going to want to encourage people to ask these questions, right?
Yeah. When I make a training, I always ask, what are the topics interesting for you?
Yep.
Because we have over 100 topics.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, well, so Rex, Missouri, welcome. Emmanuel from Italy, welcome, folks. Definitely if you have questions about this plugin. So Net Lobster says this plugin is amazing. I have a group license for the team here at RCC, so we use it. I got D. Barron is there on Twitch, welcome as well. So if you have questions about what this plugin can do for you, or if you want to tell someone else about why it's so great, feel free to chime in on Twitch, YouTube, or Discord. We're keeping an eye on that. So the analogy we use all the time is FileMaker is like Home Depot, and I was asking if Home Depot's in Germany. Apparently, they have another store similar to Home Depot. Would you call that again, Christian?
Bauhaus.
Bauhaus. And so, basically, the idea is you go in here, and you want a house or a building, or you want to build something, and you go there. It's not really pre-built, but it has all the awesome tools in one place that you can use to cobble stuff together. Well, what if you went to the hardware store and it didn't have enough features? What if you wanted more features? What if you just wanted more amazing things that it could do? Well, then you get a plug-in or product like a 360 product or the Monkeybread product, and you put it in, and then suddenly you have another 6,000 things that you can do that you couldn't do before. That's pretty huge. That's why it won the award 3 years ago, right? It's pretty fantastic. I mean, for sure. And then Bauhaus, yeah, there we go. So Bauhaus, B-A-U-H-A-U-S is the name of kind of the equivalent of like a Home Depot in Germany. So we have a number of people in Germany right now. Welcome to all the Europeans that are there. I'm glad you're there. We got Italy, Netherlands, we got all sorts of places. Cool. So you want to give us what are the most common things that people are doing that people ask you about in here? Do you have a demo you want to show us real quick on this?
Yeah, let's just make a little demo. Like let's take a Dyna PDF function. Optimize is quite popular because people have PDFs all the time and they may want to optimize them. So let's just make a sample FileMaker database. So we make a few records, we drop in some pictures. Let's drop in a picture and another picture, and now we export the records as PDF on the desktop, and you get a PDF. Okay. And you may notice this PDF is, where is it?
Yeah, it was there. It's pretty
2
large.
megabyte big.
Yeah, it was pretty big. So
people complain about that all the time. So we drop it in our example here. We click the optimize button, and we get a new PDF, which is less than a tenth of the size.
Now you must have downsized the image. Is that what you did? You downsampled it?
So you see the difference?
Yeah, not much at this level,
Yeah.
right? So
you have to well, the plugin goes and first it will remove duplicate data. So if the picture is in the PDF twice, we only store one copy and the other is using a reference. And the second thing is we reduce the resolution of all the pictures to the maximum you specify. And here in the script,
I was going to ask where you specified that at. So you can set that?
Yeah. So here we oops.
There we go. So
yeah, we said, so every picture above at least a 50 dpi is analyzed and then reduced to 150 dpi. And we have here different values for black and white, for grayscale, for RGB, and for CMYK.
This would all be in the manual. So this is a really good one. So a lot of times I don't create so many. So let me just give some back once again. Every time he says something like this, I go, yes, I have that personal need. So we're creating the PDF of the book, right? So literally the book is done. Amazon isn't printing it yet because they're arguing with us about a 0.5 millimeter of a hair of a color on the front cover, literally. But the PDF is done. The PDF is like 30 megabytes. And so I have to decide if I want to downsize that and sample it and clean it up. But and so this wouldn't make sense for one PDF. I have a program on the Mac called PDF Expert will do that for me. Yeah. But if you wanted to bulk do these as part of your workflow, as part of your FileMaker solution, this is awesome. Super awesome. Super awesome.
Yeah. Let's say you can make a PDF in FileMaker and then you can post-process it with a plugin in a script automatically for 100 PDFs. And for example, add page numbers, add a watermark, add some logo, a signature, digitally sign the PDF, create a preview picture, shrink the size if you want.
So this is one of 6,000 things this thing does. So Mark Johnson, my Marine is tardy. Welcome, Mark. The Marines are late today. All right, hoorah. So real quick, so this is one of 6,000 things it does. So it's not really a PDF processing tool. I mean, because you see that we demo it, everyone goes, "Oh, well, Richard showed a PDF tool." No, it's one of, and now it's just like if you could have a Swiss Army watch or Swiss Army knife, or you know what I'm talking about, those knives that like have like a billion little features on them as you flip them around. So you have like this knife and it's got a screwdriver and a this and a that. This plugin is a Swiss Army knife to the extreme for the FileMaker platform.
So you see, here are 100 different topics. You pick a topic, and then in the topic you have a lot of functions. And let me just look for the optimize function, and there it is. And you can learn all about the optimize function, all the flags, all the things it can do. And you can build a PDF tool with that.
Okay, so there was a question from Amico on Discord. He says, can you integrate this with Microsoft Word?
We do have Word functions, yes.
So why don't you, if you have anything you could demo there, he would love to see that.
So let's just take here, let's just take the Word file example. So we have here an example Word document. That's somewhere here on the desktop there.
Okay.
So, well, it opens in Pages, but that should not be a problem for you. So we have some placeholders here. And then we press a button here and we get a new new Word document, and now the text is filled. And you may notice that we even enlarged here the table and added a second row to add more entries.
Do you support merging of images with Word?
We can replace an existing image, and if there's a need for a new function to add new images, we may be able to do it.
If you had like a spot, like some sort of like thing, could we swap out an image?
We can replace a picture, yeah.
Okay, so So once again, let me a little story. So we built a solution back 8 years ago for an insurance company. They would have an insurance template in their FileMaker solution. They would fill in the information for the insurance. In fact, I think it was aviation insurance of all things, which is really funny since I'm in that business. And they would export it out like what you saw. Then the script would target it. And at the time, they were using a 360 product called Scribe. So it's every once in a while you run into, like, I have preferred vendors like Monkeybread and 360. And so every once in a while, very rarely, but once in a while, their products will kind of over mingle or cross mingle. But in this case, this is what you do. We would swap out all the merge fields with data from FileMaker. So you press one button, it takes the template out of a container, drops it to your desktop or wherever you want to go. It swaps in the data and swaps in the images if you have any images, right? So
we had a company selling houses, and they had a flyer designed in Word, and they had a few placeholder pictures, like showing that there is, a nice graphic for having no picture, and then we replaced those with the individual pictures for the houses.
Yep.
And they automatically make a new newsletter every week.
Yep. So pretty neat stuff. So TK has questions here. I'm interested. Let me just. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top. We have questions here. Michael Gravel, Okay, so here's one right here. Does every user of a solution have to have the plugin installed on his computer, or can it be installed on the server? So can you run this from the server side?
You can run it on the server if you like, yeah. But it depends on where you use it, on what license you need. So you can run the plugin on an iOS device with our mobile license. You can use the schedule script to run it on the server. You can use FileMaker Pro.
Okay, so there's a license for it. We don't have to worry about all the variations. So let me ask a question. So it works on Mac server, Windows server. Does it work on Linux?
Yes.
It does. So
what about the first plugins on Linux?
Yep. And then Cloud 2 doesn't really support plugins though, right? So
correct. So for Cloud 2, you have to use it on the client side.
On the client side, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't use Cloud 2, you roll your own server. So it just depends on what your needs are.
I think we have it listed here somewhere. Yeah. So it runs on FileMaker Pro, server, Cloud, the old version, runtimes.
Bad dog. So. You can't talk about runtimes. Claris doesn't like that. So. So that's funny. So Cloud 1, which is deprecated, will be deprecated in January, or is deprecated already, but it'll actually be shut down in January. And then the runtime, which is not even in 19. So so this thing pretty much works everywhere, which is pretty great. I'm going to keep clearing out these questions here. Where did it? Okay, so that question got removed. I'm interested in the functions that can resize or replace an image in a container to keep people from putting monster images in my database.
Yeah, sure. If you go in the examples, there's graphics and there's a scale example. It's image scaling there. So we have a lot of functions to work with pictures, and you can, for example, load a picture, you can scale it to a smaller size, you can specify a maximum rectangle like 200 by 200 and scale it.
I have a question. This folder, you have the secret, show us the secret folder over here. If we buy the product from you, can we get the secret folder of all your examples?
It's not secret. It's included in the download. And if you look on this and just search for it, you find here 600 example databases. And if you have maybe a week of holiday, you may be able to look at all of them.
I am impressed. For the record, I think the Base Elements folks do that too with their Base Elements plugin. But Base Elements, Monkeybread, 360 Works products are the primary main go-to products, period, across the board. Really fantastic products. And they all largely do different things, right? So just keep all that in mind. So that question's gone. Arturo Vega says, can you merge PDFs into one? Do you have a merge function for that?
Of course.
Of course, Arturo. Of course. This is Christian and Monkeybread. He can do anything.
Yeah,
Show.
it's very easy. There's an example. We can press a button and it merges two PDFs. And if you just want to see how it works, we loop over all your records, over your containers. We open a PDF from a container or from a file, import all the pages, and then we just save it to a new container, and that's it.
Okay.
And
so
because DynaPDF can also render images, you get a nice preview here without having an interactive container, and even on Windows.
Okay. So yeah, I think Ed Burkle just made a comment here, right? So I'm gonna repeat this comment for everyone. So for all of you who are aspiring to be in business and being successful, right? So far, Christian has managed not to say no to anyone, right? So let me now you can't say yes to everyone, but Christian is probably one of the most yes people I've ever met. Yes, 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 yes. Does it do this? Yes, 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 yes. So Ed Burkle just pointed out that it is just like the Prego spaghetti sauce. They would always say it's in there. Was their little logo? Yeah, it's in there, right? So totally true. Go ahead.
I'm doing that for 12 years now, and in 12 years, a lot of FileMaker developers came and said, we need this, we need that, and we always collect things, put it on a wish list, and then when several people ask for it, we just...
That's what I tell people. If someone wants something, I need at least 3 people to come to me and say they need the same thing, and then I start to pay attention to it, right? For me, it's only 3. If you're a bigger company, it might be 30 or 300, but yeah. Next question we got. The question's just rolling in. Okay, Arturo Vega, by the way, says this is great. Next question is, where can we download sample files? Okay, so this Amco guy would prefer that you just come over to his house and build it for him, but if you buy the product, you can download these samples. They want to know where these samples come from. How do you find them?
You don't need to buy it. You just go on our website, monkeybreadsoftware.com/FileMaker, and there's a big box here for downloads, and there's a version packaged for Mac and one packaged for everyone else.
And it comes in that.
Same content. It comes including the example for
yeah. All right, there you go, Amco. All your dreams have come true. The code's already built in there for you. Okay, cool. Yeah. Scott Kane asked a really good question here. Here we go. You ready for this? And I'm going to ask for a clarification on this too. Scott Kane says, do most of the features work on Windows? And I would ask Christian, if they don't, do you have a listing of the ones that are platform specific?
You can go on our documentation page and you click on all, and you see a list of all the 6,000 functions. And there's always on the back side there's a message which platforms, and you can click here on the Windows link, and you get the functions only for Windows, enabled on Windows. So we have over 4,000 functions which are supported on Windows, and there's also the only one here. So those are functions 279 which are only available on Windows.
All right, well there you go. That answers that question. Cool. So I'm trying to dig through the questions here. A lot of good questions. This is great. TK moderators to the bridge. You folks have I'm trying to look at the questions, but is there... Okay, so Arturo Vega asked kind of there's 2 questions here. Tawas says, creating a feature-rich Excel from FMP. Creating a feature-rich Excel file from FileMaker. Okay.
Let's just take here an example. We press a button. Let's export this Excel file, and we got... well, it loads a second, and here is the script, and the file is here. So we got one with a picture, we got one with some style text.
I am truly impressed. I was expecting you to choke on that one. I was expecting you to... I'm impressed.
This is a script to build such an Excel file from scratch. You see, it defines first a few font definitions. It defines a few formats, like even a custom date format. It adds formats based on other formats, so you get this cascading styles. Then we add a sheet, we set the column width, we set the row height, we make a merge cell, we write some text. And you can even have style text from FileMaker right in.
Well, so people are impressed. They're clapping for you. They're saying impressed.
Well, let me just say, as style text FileMaker, there was a blog post. Yeah, here. So we got a new function, cell wide style text, which takes your text field in FileMaker with whatever text you have. Like we built one here on the fly, and you get this text in an Excel cell.
There you go.
We convert it for you.
All right, real quick. So I'm going to ask a question to Arturo here. Arturo has a question. So Arturo, I need a little more detail on your index page from export, right? Because whenever, like when we did, what's that?
I just forgot our merge file example I showed earlier. You remember there is a script there to make a table of content. And maybe that's what he's asking about, because this one, this script would open the files and then would add here a table row. So we can have tables in DynaPDF to make a nice layout. And then in the table, we put in the name of the PDF, the page number, and we make it a clickable link.
That was my question of what he was looking for. So Arturo, I think the answer is it can make not only just an index or a table of contents, but it makes it clickable. Does that make sense? It makes it clickable link, so it will. Yeah. So that was so funny. So when we were creating the book for this, right, we're using InDesign, right, to make the book, right. So everybody understand the challenges here. So you have this PDF, right, and so you go in the PDF and you're in the table of contents, right. And InDesign, made by Adobe or whoever makes it, got some bugs, right? And so we were doing this index, creating the table of contents here, and you click on it, and it would go to the wrong page, right? But we had to actually manually set all this up. But if you could program it in FileMaker, then it could build it for you automatically. That would be super cool.
You see here the output. It's just using the file name currently, and if you click on it, you jump to the page. And we also put here page numbers over the content.
All right. So far he has said yes.
By the script here.
Yeah, he said yes to everything so far. Well, I am blown away. We're only at 32 minutes into this.
And we haven't shown yet our little goodies here. Here, the menu card.
Yeah. So there's. Well, keep going. I mean, I'll let you keep going on that if you want to riff on this a little bit. I'm waiting for someone to ask me another question. Everyone is either asleep or bored or they're blown away. Right. So
well, you can just take the script and if you say let's put it on a blog post, you can just use our copy button there and you can paste it, and you get the colors, and all the MBS functions are now links to the documentation. So you can copy the script and just paste it on your blog software.
You know, I could only imagine if Claris included this in the product. Right? How much farther this product would go.
Yeah, and if you make a presentation, it's always good to have a zoom button.
I personally use this. The only downside is it loses its mind with its numbering over here. But us older people like to zoom in and see that. I personally, it's the one feature I personally use all the time. So.
And did you notice that the font is larger and not the standard font?
Now do that again. Let me see it again.
This is not the standard font in FileMaker.
Oh, okay.
Because, well, we have a little preference here where I picked my favorite font for programming. Oh. And it's size 15.
Okay.
Oh, we should make here the minimum font for the calculations. 20.
Okay.
It's better for presentations.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so there is
like here you see the font is big.
It just starts off that way. Oh my goodness.
So you see here the big font for the calculation, and you can, if you like, you can use our new button here for checking the syntax. So we will detect a syntax error.
Okay.
And of course the red brackets here our bracket detection.
Yep.
Works very nice.
Okay, so we have two questions. One is how much this tool is so amazing. How much is it?
Take a look on the website. There's a pricing page which lists the price for you.
I think it's somewhat
about $150.
About 150 US per user.
Yeah, for the smallest one. No, not per user. For 5 seats back.
5 seats? That's like $20 a person or something. $30 a person. That's nothing.
Yeah, well,
it's cheap.
Yeah, but there are hardly any people who only have one computer. So,
okay.
So we think 5 is a good starting size. So you can put it on your laptop, on your desktop, on your
okay.
on your colleague's desktop.
Cool. And then so someone wants to know how you came up with the name Monkeybread.
Oh, that was over 20 years ago. I had a little software company doing shareware, and I had a partner in the US, and he brought the name. And well, it's a unique name, and if you start a new business, you need to find something where you can get a com domain.
So Moki on Discord says Christian is awesome. Big props to Monkeybread software. I use it every day. Stu says I like script copying. How about searching for text inside multiple scripts?
Well, you can always just type something, and you can click through the scripts and see it highlighted.
Ooh, so when you jump script, it doesn't clear it up here, which is great. Okay.
No, it doesn't clear it.
Okay, so that's kind of that might be half a no for Stu.
Yeah,
Stu, can you give me more data? Is that going to be good enough for you, or do you need more?
Well, we would love to see Claris invest in the script workspace and add a search feature, because they have all the data and they can even search more than we can. Like if you have here some text, we can only search the options you actually see here. So if the script step has more options, there may be some we can't show you. Let's see. Like no, this one shows, but let's see. I have maybe a curl option, and well, it shows. But if you have too much text, it will not show.
Okay.
So cool. We can only search the visible text in the script workspace. And Claris could search all the text.
Yep. Moki, we were just having a conversation. I think you probably just kind of slid in here about the sample file directory, which was Amco, I think, is in love. I think Amco is going to marry this product because the sample files are so amazing and so basic. Amco loves that because I don't blame him. That's great. So cool. Other questions from folks? So far it's yes, and one kind of half yes. So I haven't got a no out of it. I got a half a yes.
You could ask people if they do any iOS development. Maybe someone is interested in something for iOS.
That's such a funny area because it came out. We were big supporters of it, but the amount of customers that want a customized version of Go for the runtime, or from a Go that's embedded, right? I just haven't had a lot of demand for that. And about every 3 or 4 months, someone asks me about it, and I send them off to talk to Hansa at 24U, right? So. Okay, Mark Johnson says he's interested in iOS development, but he's a Marine, so I don't know how that works. So you want to try?
I just want to show a cool feature. So if you have a PDF or a picture in a container, we can open the preview panel for it, and we got a little edit button here. This is a feature from Apple where you can annotate a picture, and you can say, well, we need to do some work there, and you can draw on the PDF or the image right in FileMaker Go on the device, and then you can save this into your container field.
Yep. That's pretty neat stuff. Scott Kane has a question. Is there a function where if there is a script error, if you can get the result? Okay, this is a common request everyone has for FileMaker or Claris, I guess. And they say, if I have a bunch of code that's running and I get an error, I'd like to know the line number of the error. like it's line 23 of this script or something, right? So
Yeah, that's something Claris has to do.
Claris has to do that. Okay, that's your first
we
no.
have
That's your
we
first.
have a few functions. Yeah, well, we have a few functions in this direction, but we have the debugger functions where we can actually read here, for example, the line number and the call stack from the debugger window. But that's only working if the debugger is open.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we read it from the window, but otherwise FileMaker Claris has to do it themselves.
Yeah, we've asked for that before. That's on their extended wish list someday. I'm not sure if we'll ever see that or not.
But you might notice that the plugin can highlight you errors in the script, like this one here, perform script, without saying what, without picking a script, or if you have an if without a condition, it will show in orange. And if you actually use a variable name you didn't define, the plugin will tell you. So the plugin will check if you have a set variable script step above or some insert script step to define the variable. If it doesn't find it, it will complain.
There was a question from D Baron 8, and he said he wants to know what font you choose again. Can you go back to your preferences and show your font selection? Something about Jet Pro.
Yeah, JetBrains. JetBrains Mono.
JetBrains Mono. Whatever the. Is that like an Adobe or is that an Apple? Where is that?
No, this is a special font for developers, which has a few nice things. Like if you type a dash and bigger than, it makes a nice error.
Yeah.
And you can. Well, it has a lot of this. So if you have two together, it makes a nice.
Okay, so if I'm in. It's only available to you then, or is it?
No, it's JetBrains Mono. There's a website for that.
Really?
A free open
wow.
source font.
I'm impressed. I was not aware of that one. There you go. Okay, we get all sorts of. Okay, so here we go. Here's your next question. All right, you ready for the next one, Christian? You ready?
Yeah.
Can you mark up a PDF like what he's doing on the photo? Can you go to a PDF and mark up a PDF?
Well, we can do it in a script if you like, but for the user interface, that's only on iOS.
Okay, because I know you can do it with JavaScript and.
So we can add annotations. Yeah, we have a couple of functions to add annotations automatically. And let me just show you one. So this is an example where we have some text in a field, and we can search the text and then highlight the portions where the text is found. So you can do a search within a PDF.
Okay.
And there's a PDF library example for that. Let me show you. So I need to drop in some PDF. Just like here the license agreement. And now we render, for each page in the PDF, we render a preview picture and we take the text of it.
Wow.
You can import 100 PDFs if you like in this database.
So
then you can do a search here.
And so you could rip the pages out of a PDF and put them in containers, correct? So that's what you just did there. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now we search the PDF pages and we show you only the pages which have the word on it, and it's highlighted here in yellow.
Yeah, so this is truly amazing. I think if you wanted to annotate or draw on top of this, you would need to you would get it out to a container, right? The problem is then you'd have an image when you were done, right? Because then you could take the image and you could annotate it, but then you're no longer a PDF.
We have the functions to annotate, and then you can save the modified PDF with the annotation. So let's say you want to highlight annotation.
I think they're talking about drawing, but annotation is kind of an open-ended term here. Let me see.
Yeah, what we do is usually we do things which can be done in a script to 100 PDFs automatically.
Got it. So not like a drawing tool. So once again, if you want the drawing tool, you're going to need the JavaScript web viewer stuff. But so far, that's really, but we've demonstrated that on this live stream before. We've done that a number of times. We've talked about that. So
it's annotation. So you. Just
right.
work yourself through the examples here. Or image scanning, yeah. We have, I just saw a question about image scanning.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
And we have functions for image scanning. And let me just search on the blog. I made an article about that. Image capture. Scanning options, maybe. So we have the Twain functions, we have the image capture and the via functions for Windows.
Okay.
Windows image acquisition. And you can, for example, take an example here. Let's say there. So you would have to use two APIs, one for Mac, one for Windows. And you can, on both, you can decide if you want to do it all in script or you want to take the default panel, like here, pick a device and then scan from it. Or if you do it all in a script and you have a script to start a scan programmatically and you put all the parameters you like what resolution do you want, what image format do you want.
So not just flatbed scanners, but like document scanners too?
Document feeders. You can enable auto feeding.
Yeah, the snap scan devices, those things that, yeah.
You can get a script trigger if there's a new picture coming. You can put them on, that's the Windows example. You can select the device. You can use the picture for that. You can here scan with a feeder. Just tell it scan with feeder. You get a script triggered when there are pictures. You can just ask how many pictures. You can import them into containers. You can build a PDF from them if you like.
Let me. I'm going to change a lot of questions here, and once again, I'm going to keep banging away these things. So a couple questions. Everyone just be patient. So we have a question similar. Remember when we talked about inserting text at merge fields into Word? Can you do that into a PDF? If you have the merge into yeah.
So, the answer is yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There is somewhere a place.
That's fine. You don't have to show it. I'm just answering these questions. Tawa said, so Tawa is asking a similar question about Excel. We talked about containers in Word files. Can you push a container to Excel? Like an image.
Yeah, we had that before, or a little test.
Well, we did it with. Yeah, you did because you put your logo in there, right? You put put your logo.
The logo here.
Yeah, there you go. You guys have to pay attention. The problem is you're doing so much awesome stuff. People's heads have exploded and blown up. So their brain is.
So we can put a picture in a PDF. We can replace a picture in a PDF. We can. Put a picture in the Excel document. We can, of course, replace an existing one. We can extract the pictures from PDF, Excel, and Word.
All right, this is their little heads right now exploding. Right? Very funny. Very funny. That's awesome.
There is a replace pattern there. So we have a function to replace text in a PDF where you can also say, I want to change the font size, the styling, the color. And then you just say here, change hello 1 to hello world.
There you go. So yeah, people's heads are blown. All right, so question from Rex. Can we create a table in FileMaker from an XML sample file? Which I guess, since we probably want to humor Kyle here too, we'd have to ask about JSON as well.
Okay, we have XML and JSON import. There's a nice little example database, and now I need a XML file. Well, let's say I just take one XML file here and say make me a copy as XML. And now let me rename that test and let's take a look on the file. That's UTF. Let's change that. You can do that with a plugin. And now we say import, and the magic starts. So the plugin takes a test XML on the desktop, and it will create schema. Here you see we got a couple of tables. always the
Holy
same prefix. We got fields.
Wait. Okay, stop. Now I have questions. All right, just stop. Everyone focus. Let me talk to him. Don't distract him, okay? So this uses the legacy XML, right? The XML that's created, is it the new XML save as a copy, or is
Doesn't
this
matter. It's just an example XML file. Any XML file.
any XML? So it's not necessarily a export from Claris, because Claris is working on their save as XML, and it's not quite ready yet to completely reproduce a FileMaker file. But you built, okay.
I just needed a sample file for sample XML file.
And you need to UTF-8. Okay, well, my head hurts, so.
Well, technically, we could do other encodings, but here our little script here specifies UTF-8 to read the file. So I could change that to 16 and then don't need to change the file.
All right, so I'm going to read these questions, but my head's blown now. So, do you have functions to work with e-card readers or for reading digital ID cards or driver's licenses, things like that?
Yeah, we do have the smart card functions. Smart card is here on the list, where you can talk to your favorite smart card reader, and the difficulty is usually to know so we can transmit your request to the card and get back the answer, but you need to know what to put in this request.
Yeah, that takes a little bit of banging your head against the wall. That's
we have here a few example codes. Like this is for a specific card where we send here a request like this. So it's just command codes, and we get back an answer, and this answer turns out to be the version number for this card. So if you know the protocol, you can do that. And we have examples for it. We have an example to read, I think, Swiss health cards and Belgic driver license.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is okay, so I'm not going to take away from the Monkeybread at all, but for a lot of these, like the magstripe readers, you don't need anything special. The magstripe reads it through the USB and puts it straight into a field, and you can parse that. So we already have examples of doing that. Yeah. It's where you're got more of an interaction going back and forth, pushing data through USB. Just reading it off a USB is one thing that's pretty easy. You probably don't need a plugin for that. But as soon as you want to actually push data to the smart card or anything like that, for sure you're in the realm of Monkeybread or something like that. So
yeah, if you have just a device which simulates a keyboard, you may do that.
Yeah.
If you have a device which simulates a serial port, we have also serial port functions.
Yeah.
If you have one which uses some socket connection, TCP, IP, UDP, whatever, to send you data, you can do that with our socket functions.
Yeah. So cool. All right. Well, so people want to know more about iOS development. So, I mean, what kind of questions do we have about iOS development?
So the plugin comes here with a version for iOS. So we have a simulator version and a device version, and we have a video on the website where I show you how to install the plugin. But first you have to get familiar with FileMaker iOS SDK.
Yeah, that's a whole serious skill set. And people, listen, it's kind of like QuickBooks. People talk, because I deal with a lot of people, they talk a big game, and they're like, hey, I want QuickBooks integration. And they're like, yeah, that's great. And then they realize it's going to take a little bit of work and effort, and it's kind of convoluted. And they're like, well, I'm not so sure about that, right? So iOS is like that. QuickBooks are like that. It's getting people to actually commit financially on a project, and on that is different than someone kind of having a vague interest in it. QuickBooks is very much like that. So, okay, so questions we have, but yeah, to do iOS App SDK, we had a course at one point we quit keeping it up to date because there just wasn't enough demand for that, right? And so the idea though is you have to become an Apple developer. You have to pay Apple to be a developer. You're going to have to download Xcode. Then you're going to have to learn how the provisioning works and all this kind of stuff. And and it's very sensitive stuff. It won't work unless it's just right.
Yeah, but you can just hire someone like Honza
Oh,
and
you can hire someone else to do it for you,
yeah.
right? Which is what I
Yeah,
would
you
do.
can just give them a nice icon, give them a starter database to connect to your server.
Yep.
Maybe a few other things like a name for the app, and tell them to include the MBS plugin.
Yep.
And then you have just your own branded FileMaker Go with plugin included.
What is the license like for the iOS device? I was wondering about that. That's kind of a weird one.
Well, it's just a one-off. You pay us, I think in dollar, it's $600.
Yeah, and then you got an unlimited license.
And then you can put it as many devices as you want.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Yeah, I mean, the conversation about the iOS device is much trickier, and of course, Claris is, yeah. So the iOS App SDK, it's called FileMaker iOS App SDK. It's FiOS if you spell it out, which aggravated Claris, I think, the marketing department once upon a time. They don't really want you to build public-facing applications with it, even though that's what people frequently do. What normally, if you work at a big company like you work at Toyota or you work at some big organization, Rockwell or someplace, you'll have people, the corporation will probably buy devices for all the staff or a department, and they will have their own version of the app, their own Apple App Store. Like Apple will carve off their own like Rockwell or Toyota App Store, and it's the apps that just Toyota's licensed that's approved for the Toyota devices. So it's called mobile device management. It's this big enterprise thing, and it gets into that. So that's what Claris built this for. So you could have big customers bring FileMaker Go, build an app and stick it on their own internal Toyota store or their own internal Rockwell store or whatever. It was not really, once again, Christian doesn't care what you do with it. I'm just telling you that that's the intent of the product from Claris. It's somewhat sometimes used differently than what Claris would intend, right?
Well, you can put an iOS app on the App Store with our plugin included. We have customer doing that. But
right, you can.
Most customers just do the custom apps for big corporations where they want to have their own logo on it.
Yep.
And want it to auto-connect to their database server and then use the plugin for some additional functionality.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of the intent of that. And so came out. It was really interesting, but it was because if you try to putting an app on your own store, you just do it. It shows up. It works. Apple doesn't interfere with that. But if you actually try to submit to the public, Apple will review it. They may or may not like it. They may or may not like things you're doing with it. So it becomes a whole political process in question, right? Does the app have value to the community, et cetera, et cetera? So it gets into things. So cool. So ACO Blum 73. Richard's happy, able to help you. Yep. We're happy to help with SDK. Yeah. So okay. So the training was good. Yeah. So my problem is when we do video training, we spend literally every year hundreds of thousands of dollars on video training and producing this stuff. And the problem is that I don't have enough people asking about the iOS App SDK, so it doesn't get the love that maybe it could otherwise get. But that's because I get asked about every 2 or 3 months, right? So
we have a video page here, and if you like to get into it, you can look here for the iOS video.
Really? Okay, so these are all like, so if you go to MBS plugins, file, I'm going to go full screen here. So, sorry.
Yeah. So on our website, if you are on the FileMaker section, you can click on videos and you see all our latest videos here. And close in front of it, where is the one for iOS? Oh, there it is. Yeah, FileMaker iOS SDK. And there you can see how I put the plugin into an SDK app.
In the Xcode. Which actually brings up an interesting question. Do you, with the M1 processors, do you have to recompile your stuff for that, or how's that working for you with the M1 silicon, the Apple silicon? Is there anything?
It's working just fine.
Okay.
So
so is yours running under emulation, or have you recompiled it for the M1, or do you have a universal plugin, or what are you doing?
The first question is, do you here's a shared extension. So there is the current plugin I'm using, and just let me type in here file and MBS and content make MBS, and you see the plugin is already compiled for Apple Silicon.
Wow. So it's a fat binary. It does
Yeah,
both.
it's a fat binary.
Okay.
We do that for some time now because, well, Claris announced they are doing it in the future someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as long as you have an Intel version of FileMaker running, of course, the Intel version will be loaded. But as soon as you get the Apple Silicon version of FileMaker, this will load the Apple Silicon version of our plugin.
We're at about 1 hour right now. So Christian, like I said, I've
Well,
a truly
do we
brilliant
have more
guy.
questions?
I don't know. I mean, everyone's. My head's already hurting. Adrian says, in my company, use Monkeybread every day. We love it, especially the server version, right? So he likes that. Peter Geens is there. Geens says, cool stuff. Colbert, possible from a. What the heck?
Oh,
All right.
let me show you some more. I mean,
Okay.
how about
As if I'm
multi-file
not enough pain. Not enough pain.
drag and how to get several files dropped on your FileMaker window, and you get a script call and you do something with the files, like importing them. Isn't that cool?
I am truly impressed.
Especially that you can use it on Windows to drag attachments from Outlook directly into FileMaker. That's something people miss in FileMaker, I think.
Wow. Wow. Finn says it's the best plugin ever. I am truly impressed. Yeah. Well, Sven, if you want the best plugin ever, you can going and buying it. So there you go. That's always what I say. Go buy his product, right? So
yeah, the first thing is you come and you download it, you install it, and you play with it. It's without a license key. It's in demo mode. You can play as long as you want. You may get a license missing dialog from time to time. And if you want to play a little bit longer, you can get a trial key here by signing up for it. And then if you like the plugin, we appreciate if you buy a license, or if you start to deploy it to your customers.
Yeah, please don't be a grease weasel and steal the product, okay, folks? Make sure you buy it. Pay money. It's worth the money. Like I said, I only bring people on here. Okay, so yeah, so this is my this is my emergency medication here because Christian is here with me. So I've got too much headache because he's hurting my head. So I've got my acetaminophen because my head's exploding with too much excitement. So yes.
Should I show you some more?
I don't know.
You're in the script workspace and you say, oh, I make a new script and I may need something. So how about some function header for your script? And then you say, how about making a little loop? So it's just a nice thing. I mean, you have snippets on your fingertip with the context menu, and you can define those yourself.
Snippets at my fingertip. I feel a rap song coming. Snippet at my fingertip.
I play with it all the time, and now let's do something else. Like let's say we have this line selected, and we say here search and replace. So let's say this is $index, and I like to have it $counter. So the plugin will take the input and make you an output. So you can take a look. Does it look right? Nothing broken. So delete the old one.
All right. So Scott Kane asked a question. I think you kind of talked about this briefly earlier. Scott asked a question. Does it have any debugger features?
Yeah, sure. So let's just debug this. Save here. So in the debugger, you have a search. You have the zoom, you have the copy, and then you have the possibility to move your mouse over a variable and you get the text there. So you can inspect all your variables and your fields, actually. Well, this script doesn't have fields. We just take another script. Setup. yeah, there's a logo. So here's the logo. So it's a field. So the plugin is showing you it's a container and it contains something and it shows you the file name.
All right, we do have a question here, but I think I pretty much know the answer to this one already. So if someone has a container on a layout and they have an animated GIF, if they buy your plugin, will the animated GIF animate in the container?
In the container. Oh, you want to play an animated GIF? I had this somewhere. So we don't change the container as it is, but we have an image view control which can animate. Maybe this one. Oops. Yeah, this is so this is an old picture, and no, nothing is happening. So what's going on here? There's our placeholder. So not sure why it's not working. No, it's working. So we have a picture and it's animating.
Okay.
So you can put,
is that a web viewer there then? Is that what that is?
No. This is a native control the plugin puts on top of your layout. So let's just look in the documentation.
So it doesn't override the container, which is what I was pretty sure the answer is, but you're actually putting.
We have an image view control, which I made once it's for Mac and iOS.
So you made a new object. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, this is a new layout object. FileMaker doesn't know anything about it.
Okay.
But it can animate.
Well, that pretty much mostly solves the problem. Wait. But then, back up. But the plugin has to be local, right? The plugin has to be local. Could you put that on the server? Would it work on the server like that? It'd have to be local.
You have to have the plugin locally.
For that, yes.
Yeah.
So
it's just nice to show a GIF on top of the FileMaker user interface. And with all the plugin-based controls, you always should make sure that you disable them when you move to layout mode or you switch your layout, because they are laying on top of the layout from FileMaker. So FileMaker doesn't know anything about the plugin control. And if FileMaker decides to change the layout, it may just throw away my control.
All right, so Dave. So Dave is a little late, but we're going to wrap up here. But Dave's question is, so we're going to kind of start to land the airplane. So Ruben's laughing at me. So what's the website again? And it's about $150 for a 5-pack is what this is, Dave.
Yeah.
So $150 for a 5-pack. The website's monkeybreadsoftware.com. Okay.
So let's say we have a custom web viewer example. And this allows you to create a custom web viewer, which doesn't reload if you switch the records. So I can switch records and it doesn't reload because it's on top of the FileMaker layout, and FileMaker doesn't know anything about it. But we can use it to render a web viewer as a PDF or get its HTML text, and we can use it for navigation. And, well, doesn't reload if you switch the page. That's fine already.
Everyone's brains are blown. So I appreciate everyone coming here. Do we have any final questions? Because we're 9 minutes after, so we've been going on this for a solid hour. My head already hurts. We have a handful of new people coming in, but you can check it out, monkeybreadsoftware.com. It's about $150 for a 5-pack. Which is perfect. It's really.
You should say people can get a trial license first.
A trial license. Yeah. He wants me to try to hook you with a trial license. So, yeah, you could download. It'll run for free, but just go buy the damn thing, right? But yes, welcome to FMTrain.tv, where you see amazing people blow your minds every day. We want to welcome Christian, say thank you for coming, and then we'll have to have you back again sometime. Maybe we'll pick a more narrow topic of something we could do and talk about it in detail, because. I'm in pain now. I need some therapy and some medication.
Just email me when you
Email, or you guys can email them too. If you love what you saw, TopCat19 says thank you. TK says thank you. Scott Kane says thank you. Ken says thank you. Everyone's saying thank you. You're awesome. So very, very, very great.
Well,
work.
I'm thankful for your live streams. I love watching them.
Oh, the live streams? Yes. Well, a lot of people don't know about them. It's kind of fun. We've been doing it every day for a year. It's like, they'll be like, what live stream? What are you talking about? Like, so, yeah, no, absolutely. I've invited some other people over, so we'll see if sometimes they show up. So for now, I'm going to wrap things up here, everyone. I do greatly appreciate it. Let me see if I can find my closing button. Now, we got the new closing video here. All right, cool. I appreciate everyone. Thank you. See you next time.
See you. Goodbye.
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snags a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him. Again, he makes the grab.